Hey, fellow mutants, welcome back to another video. I I saw this article, which not that, but this article, the chilling death of Christina Grimmie, the young singer who was shot by an unhinged fan just after a concert. Um, so Christina Grimmie was my favorite singer, or she is to this day still my favorite singer. Um, but I wanted to do this article mostly to honor her. And because she is I often refer to my brother as the one who exactly pushed me to make a YouTube channel on my own, which I still love my brother for that. But Christina Grimmie is what inspired me to at least think about doing a YouTube channel on my own. Um, it was specifically her Dear Me video that made me want to start a channel on my own. I will link um the video in my description as well. Um, her video of Dear Me was about don't let others dictate who you are. Don't be afraid of who you are. Keep being the amazing person that you are, despite the popular trends, despite what everyone's trying to tell you to be. Be who you are. Be and continue to grow essentially. And as a person who was going through a rough patch at the time, that video really helped me. And then I listened to her songs, and I have generally thoroughly enjoyed her songs. And my favorite song to this day of Christina Grimmie's is "I Bet You Don't Curse God," because that song is one of the songs that has helped me through some struggles in my life. One that I faced in the one of those times was the struggle I faced in around August, it, essentially in 2024. I went through some personal stuff, um, and hers, I Bet You Don't Curse God, helped me not lose my shit, essentially, as well as when I lost Nemo, my like cat Nemo. It helped me through that progress, process, I should say. Sorry. Anywho, let's get into the that's how I essentially got into Christina Grimmie, and part of the reason why I am such a huge fan of Christina Grimmie still to this day, even though she's sadly been dead for 9 years now. It's because she still this to this day essentially helps me get through some rough patches through my difficult times. That as she showed was just an amazing talent, and from what I've heard, an angel when she was here. Anyways, Christina Grimmie's death in 2016 came to a shock to her friends, family, and friends. The 22-year-old singer was on her way to becoming a world-famous star. She would become popular performing songs covers as a YouTube on YouTube as a teenager, and her celebrity only continued to rise when she appeared on The Voice in 2014. And I remember that too, and I remember being so freaking pissed when she got through. I genuinely think that she deserved first, still to this day. Um, tragic. And then it says Christina Grimmie in 2014, 2 years before she was murdered on by an obsessed fan on the concert. Oh, after a concert. Um, so this is the picture they're referring to. Anyways, and she was a really talented lady, person, I should say. Tragically, Christina Grimmie's promising future was ripped away by Kevin James Loipool, an obsessed fan who fatally shot her while she was signing autographs after a concert in Orlando on June 10th, 2016. Loipool then turned the gun on himself without giving any insight into why he taken Grimmie's life. Um, however, I want to say I was in Florida visiting my sister with some friends going to Disney. And I didn't find out until my sister, I think she called me or when we were at Disney, and that's when she told me about the sad news about Christina Grimmie. I it's still heartbreaking to this day. But the fact is, I was like essentially so close, literally a few hours away, maybe an hour at most, away from where Christina was performing, essentially. And I was unaware of these events happening. So when I found out, of obviously it was like heartbreaking, but knowing I was an hour away about just made it even more heartbreaking too. For me personally. And it was literally on my bucket list to meet Christina Grimmie. Anyway, however, police interviews with those who knew Lobie soon revealed his intentions. His friend noted that the 27-year-old man spent hours every day watching videos of Grimmie online. Lobel's co-workers claimed that he was infatuated by Grimmie and even said that he was going to marry her one day. The investigation into Christina Grimmie's murder painted a chilling picture of a man who was seemingly determined to have her all to himself, or at least make sure no one else could. And that's sad. Yeah. So how Christina rose to stardom? Christina Grimmie was born on March 12th, 1994, and she was interested in music from a young age. As a child, she sang and played the piano, but she wanted to share her talents with the world. So when she was 15, Grammy started a YouTube channel under the username Zelda Love 64, which I also linked her channel to in the description. So you guys don't have to like type it in on YouTube if you don't feel like it. Anyways, there she posted covers by songs like Miley Cyrus, Part of the USA, and One Time by Justin Bieber. The teen quickly amassed followers, reaching a million by 2011. The same year, she released her debut EP, Find Me. Grammy then moved to Los Angeles to better pursue her singing career. She even connected with pop star Selena Gomez and started opening for her on tours. However, Christina Grimmie's biggest break came to 2014 when she earned a spot on the NBC's singing competition show The Voice with Maroon 5's lead singer Adam Levine as her coach. Grimmie finished in third, which I still think she should have got first, but her time on the show had exposed her music to a wider audience and her fan base continued to grow. And I'll even argue that even to this day, this I think like her fan base is still like growing per se, because like her songs are really good and really empowering, and she had a voice of an angel. On June 10th, 2016, the day of Christina's death, she was performing at Plaza Live in Orlando as the opening act for the band Before You Exit. After she finished her set, she prepared to take photos and sign autographs for a long line of eager fans, but she had no idea her killer was there waiting for her too. So, and then we're getting the murder. So, If this part will trigger anyone, this is your time to back out of the video. At 10:24, it was Kevin James Lobby's turn to meet Christina Grimmie. The singer opened her arms to give Lobby a hug, and he quickly pulled out a gun and shot her 3 times. Grimmie's brother, Marcus, who acted as her manager, immediately tackled Lobby to the ground. I'm just going to call him the guy because he doesn't even have my respect to call him by his name anymore. The guy, I mean the killer, not Christina's brother. The guy was able to pull away, but he backed against a wall and shot himself in the head before anyone else could act. Really? That's what happened? I heard Marcus fought the guy. So that I didn't even know that bit. Okay. Josh Cole was working outside the Plaza Live that night. Christina Grimmie died, and he recalled the moment he heard gunshots to the Orlando Sentinel the following day. It was quick, like pow, 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 pow. After a few moments, Cole headed to the venue to see if he could help. There he saw both Grimmie and the guy bleeding out on the floor. It was horrifying, he said. Although she was rushed to the hospital, Grimmie died shortly after the attack. She had been shot once in the head and twice in the chest. Eee, that's a horrible image. Even to imagine, that's a horrible image to even see. There's no evidence that Grammy and the guy had ever interacted with each other, so the police started interviewing those who knew the guy, in an effort to determine a motive, which they discovered was disturbing. So the guy was 27, from Florida. Days before Christina Grimmie's murder, um, he purchased 2 handguns, um, which he packed in a drawstring bag. This part I'm not gonna even get into, because I'll let you guys read it if you guys want to. This is kind of really upsetting. I'll only read this paragraph. Before he left his house the final time, the guy put a handwritten sign on his door that read, "Deepest sorrow for the loss of the family, friends, and fans of the very talented, loving Christina Grimmie." No other comments. So what the fuck? The attack was clearly premeditated, but why? Why did the guy have to for killing Grimmie? Like the fuck? And that's the asshole who did it. According to a 2016 article, the Daily, a man named Corey Dangton described himself as the guy only friend in the world, told investigators that Lobby had an unhealthy obsession with Grammy. Um, the guy reportedly spent most of his waking hours watching videos from the singer on YouTube and even stalked her social media. In fact, the guy was so obsessed with Grammy that he even changed his appearance in an attempt to impress her. He lost weight, got hair plugs, and underwent plastic eye surgery. The guy's co-workers at Best Buy said they often teased him when he said he wanted to marry Grammy because they didn't think he was serious, but he reportedly became defensive whenever they questioned him about her. Dinkton, who also worked at Best Buy with the guy, also was so concerned that he reported his friend's obsession to their boss, but nothing had ever came to it. Wow. So even then, things could have like potentially. Seems like a lot of actions could have like taken place in or prevent what happened from happening. Um, to this day, the guy's motives for murdering Christina Grimmie aren't entirely clear. He seemingly thought, if I can't have her, no one can. But it doesn't explain why he killed her before even speaking a word to her. Some people believe that he saw Grammy's post about her boyfriend on social media and grew angry that she was dating someone else, which is what I've heard, like rumors about. But because the guy died by suicide, he exact his exact reason will likely never be known. So now there's the aftermath. When the news broke of Grammy's Christian's death, the musical artist she had worked closely throughout her short career took to social media to express her grief. Um, Adam Levine said, "There's no words. We lost a beautiful soul with amazing sing voice." Selena Gomez shared a photo of her and Grammy together. The caption, "My heart is absolutely broken." Other singers like Justin Bieber dedicated performances to Grammy in the weeks following her murder. And I was in Florida too, and I remember the next day there was this shooting at like this, I believe it was like gay bar, and that was like definitely noteworthy too. But I'm kind of sad that like as soon as that gay bar shooting like was like on the air on the news that day, which again I think it was that gay bar shooting was worthy of being on the news. But I'm disappointed that that kind of overshadowed Christina Grammy's death. Because I feel like even though that skateboard shooting was important to cover and talk about as well, Christina Grammy's death was also important too. And like they talked more about that gay bar shooting that week than Christina Grammy. That like Christina Grammy's death is worth talking about as well, like on the news channels as well, in my opinion. Grammy's family was determined to carry out the young star's legacy. They started the Christina Grimmie Foundation in 2017 to financially support other victims of gun violence. Uh, the same year, the posthumously released Grammy's final single, Invisible, donating all proceeds to the foundation. It also filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Plaza Life per a 2016 report by CNN, claiming that the venue only performed superficial big bag checks and didn't pat down attendees and or use metal detectors to ensure no firearms was brought in. The case was dismissed in 2019. Wow. Yeah, that's like one of my like like never knew Christina Grimmie personally. I knew her by like seeing her videos on YouTube and the stories other people I've seen on YouTube who met her told. But like that pissed me off. There's no like metal detectors, no one to pat down, and that makes me even more upset too. That they, what's the word, dismissed that case. Like there's a reason. There's no way that case should have been dismissed. Like that's just a slap on the wrist. Like, oh well, yeah, yes, A person died, who cares? I feel like that's what is the reaction to the dismissal. Oh, Christina Grimmie died while performing on your stage. Oh, it's whatever. Whatever. Like, what the hell? That seems like really disrespectful to her memory, in my opinion. Anyways, today Christina Grimmie's father and brother continue to post images, clips of the singer, on her Instagram sharing her music with the world just as she wanted to do when she was a young girl. After reading about the tragic death of Christina Grimmie, there I'm not gonna read that, but there we have it. That is a really sad and depressing story, and I hate how Christina Grimmie was a victim to gun violence, which essentially made her family a victim. Because I do feel like if a person gets murdered by any sort of weapon or any other way, then their family essentially becomes victims because they lost that person to whatever act of violence. In this case, with Christina Grimmie, gun. Not only her family, but her friends, and further extension in this scenario, her fans. And like I said, this Christina Grimmie was an amazing person. She was, as this article suggested, on her way of consensually becoming a household name. Like she could have been on a similar level as like Whitney Houston or Michael Jackson in terms of being like a household name. But that was like stolen away. And it pissed me off how that case, like the lawsuit got dismissed. Um, and the reason why I wanted to like when I saw that article, I wanted to like share with you guys because Christina Grimmie again had is part of the reason why I made my channel in the first place. She was the reason why I was inspired. Because I always like wanted to get my voice out there, but I was too nervous to have fear of being judged. So when I saw Christina Grimmie's A Dear Me video, it inspired me to think more of making a channel. I want to make a channel anyways, but it inspired me more at the time to make a channel. Plus, with the Dear Me video and her like Bet You Don't Curse God song, it helped, and some of her other songs too. It helped me through some of my rough patches that I've been through. Accepting the bad shit that happened that I was going through at the time when I first heard Bet You Don't Curse God, as well as like losing my grandfather, losing my late cat Nemo. Some of the things I had to endure since losing Nemo. And it's just in my life. There's like I always think of or no I usually think of the Bet You Don't Curse God as one of those as when I'm going through the rough patch. Or even the Dear Me video when I need inspiration to say, hey, it's okay to be myself. Just even if some people may not exactly like me, not everyone needs to exactly like accept me. per se in terms like, and that's not a bad thing, and that's not an egotistical thing. Just be okay with being my own skin. And Christina Grimmie, she was a definitely. It sucks that that light was dimmed, and part of her legacy is inspiring people to do better, I guess, or become light in other people's lives. And that's part of what I want to do for other people as well. Her light inspired me, and I want to help part of this channel, and I feel the Keyblade Mastery channel is so I'm hoping part of it is to inspire others to not give up, to keep pushing, to be a light in other people's lives too, to make a channel of your own and stuff like that. So, anyways, I will be putting this article in the description like I do every article. Again, I wanted to share this because I think this story needed to get out there. So, anyway, I'm Jet. Love you guys. Wonderful day. Be kind to one another. I will talk to you, fellow mutants, later.